Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're setting up our IRSX, the first truly smart infrared camera. From unpacking to configuring the first measurement job in just a few minutes. Let's get started. Step 1. Unpacking. The package should have the following contents: 1 I/O cable, 1 GigE cable, 1 support card with lanyard, 1 IRSX I/O panel reference manual, 1 IR I/O panel, 1 24-volt DC power supply with adapters, 1 focus tool, 1 IRSX camera, 1 air purge adapter. Tip: your package also contains a support card with 2 QR codes. Blue cheers your personal setup page, red in product support site. Hold on to that card, it's your quick access tool. Step 2. Preparation of all connections. Connect the camera according to the connection diagram. To supply the camera with power, you can either use the I/O panel or the power cable. The I/O panel is equipped with a fuse that protects the camera from damage caused by incorrect polarity of the connections. The panel also provides easy access to the camera's I/O ports. Connect the ends of the cables from the 24 VDC power supply to the correct terminals on the I/O panel, negative to negative and positive to positive. Now that you have connected the power supply via the I/O panel, connect the I/O cable to the I/O panel at the appropriate connection point and the other end to the appropriate connection point on the IRSX. Now connect the GigE cable to the IRSX at the appropriate connection point. Connect the other end to your computer. If needed, use an Ethernet to USB adapter for laptops. Once you have connected all the cables, you can now plug the main power supply into a power outlet. The camera's LEDs should now light up. Step 3. Installation of the AT Solution Package. First, download the AT Solution Package under Support Packages on the Product Support website. Install the AT Solution Package on your computer. Tip: in the component selection dialog in the installation wizard, the relevant files and tools for a first commissioning are pre-selected. When the installation is complete, an icon will appear on the desktop for launching the CX Discover tool. Tip: to get the best possible performance, configure the network adapter settings. Step 4. Starting the CX Discover. Open the CX Discover tool by clicking on the desktop icon. A dialog box will appear in which all connected IRSX cameras will be displayed. Select the camera to be parameterized by right-clicking on the corresponding line, and in the appearing context menu, select the entry Open the Device website. You will be redirected to the login dialog of the IRSX camera. Step 5. Camera login. 3 different user levels are available. Tip: the camera needs some time to reach thermal balance. Therefore, we recommend to let the camera warm up approximately 30 minutes before starting the temperature measurement. Additional, configure a measurement job. You can add multiple jobs to your IRSX. If the camera is connected to a PLC, it can automatically load the appropriate job for the task. So to create a new job, I will click here on plus create a new job, and we will give this job a name. So I will call it job 1. And now here we can adapt the settings of the camera. You see the camera has different calibration ranges. You can change parameters like emissivity and transmission. If you have installed a camera inside of an enclosure and you have a germanium window, for example, you can select the trigger mode if the camera is going to be triggered by the PLC. You see, we have different color palettes that you can use. Let's add our area of interest here. And let's add an evaluation for that area of interest. So we're going to put here area 1. We are going to add a threshold to compare the temperature. So we'll call it threshold 1x, and it's going to be 25 degrees. So here on this menu, I can add to my new evaluation the area of interest that I just created. I will enable an evaluation. So let's check, for example, if the maximum temperature. You see, you have multiple possibilities. Maximum temperature, minimum temperature, mean tatis, you can have a range, the standard deviation, the variance. So there are different functions that you can use to implement your evaluation. Of course, if you want support on this, how to configure this job, you can always contact us. We're glad to help here. We will just check if the maximum temperature is higher. You see, we can check if it's in a range, out of range. So there are multiple possibilities. We will select for this example if the maximum temperature is higher than the threshold we have created. We call it threshold 1. And for the visibility, we will add result table and a history plot. So let's save and activate the job. And now we can see here that the area that we have created, I will move it a little bit. Let's put it here on top of the face of my colleague. And that's it. And here we can select what is going to be displayed on the dashboard. So now I have the image, the result table, and the history plot. We click Finish, Save, and Activate. And now we can see that the colleague has a temperature of almost 37 degrees. Here we can see the variation of the maximum temperature in time. For full documentation and support, visit www.at-sensors.com or scan the blue QR code on your support card. Thanks for watching. See you next time.